his real impact was as an explorer about what these incredibly fragile and underpowered machines could do.
In the early days of aviation, Art Smith accomplished feats in an airplane no one dreamed could be done. Though known for his aerial acrobatics, one historical fiction author suggests the legacy of Fort Wayne's Birdboy is something much different.
Art Smith was one of the first aviators in our region.
He had no idea how to do stuff, but would just wing it, and it ended up working out for him.
This kid, this boy from Fort Wayne, was the first person in the world to write in the sky.
Remnants and reminders of Fort Wayne's Birdboy live on in Northeast Indiana.
He's one of those people who is maybe a combination of an innovator and a daredevil.
Hoosiers still admire his contributions to aviation today, but one author ponders if Art Smith's greatest accomplishment is in his writing.
You know, what would I give to be able to write my stories in the sky instead of using typewriters and word processors?
Fort Wayne native Michael Martone is talking about skywriting. His latest book, a compilation of short stories, merges fact with fantasy, dreaming up what stories Smith may have told in the skies, even fabricating pictures to give readers an idea of what it may have looked like.
And what would be better as a short story than two-word stories that skywriters write up in the sky? They're more like poems. They're lyrical meditations on flying, writing, and on making art, and also about just how wonderful and how crazy it is to actually think that humans, and a human from Fort Wayne, came up with the idea of writing in the sky.
And 21 countries still has strong connections to the pilot's legacy, from Memorial Park.
The statue that Fort Wayne erected for Art Smith, it looks mythological.
To the state's oldest operating airport, Smith Field.
His creative spirit, his courage brought him to not just where Fort Wayne aviation is, but where all of aviation is.
Even as the mascot of Birdboy Brewing, established just 5 years ago.
Really identified with the whole aviation thing and then the tie into Fort Wayne. So I thought it was just a perfect name and really wanted to help get Art Smith's story out there.
To his final resting place at Lindenwood Cemetery, Martone read an excerpt of his book, mashing two of Fort Wayne's most historic elements together.
In April of 1925, Art Smith returned home to Fort Wayne, contracted to advertise the new commercial radio station, Whoa Whoa. There, Smith stitched together the call letters, the double U's undulating, mimicking the amplitude of radio waves. Whoa, 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 whoa. You really shouldn't come to this book if you're thinking about, oh, I just want to know about the life of an aviator. What interested me more was his life as a writer and what that means, because I've lived a life as a writer. In a sense, I'm identifying with the Birdboy. He was there at the beginning, and he had the imagination and also the skill to write in the sky.
Art Smith died in a plane crash in 1926. He was delivering mail from Chicago to Bryan, Ohio, when his plane went down in Montpelier. 2 years later, the famous statue in Memorial Park was installed. Fort Wayne's postmaster and future mayor Harry Balls escorted Smith's mother to that event.